Hey everybody, hope you're all out there. Lacey, Rick from the Ghost Police Paranormal Investigators. Yeah, you're looking at a tablet here. I'll explain all this that's on here. Got my cigarette lighter here for some my cigarette here for my demonstration. I got my little handheld bright light there so I can show you some stuff what I got. But about 3 months ago, I made a video on my new DC port for the shop. And I told you guys just this past week when I did the bathtub video, my higher amperage one was supposed to be here. I went from a 5 amp, which is good for like these stereos or my home theater that I built by hand, similar to this. And it's good for my workshop cart there for all the stuff I got on it. But I'm a smoker, and this port here come with a cigarette lighter, which I only got lucky shortly right after I ordered it. I was able to light me a cigarette on it. So you can check that in my last reviews. This is the original box the little one come in. As you can see, right there. Here's the big sucker the other one come in. Right here. So you tell the noticeable size difference of boxes. That's the 5 amp box, 12 volt, 20 amp box. I told y'all I was going to get a 15 amper, but I decided to go 20, raised at 5 bars, pretty much 5 points. Alright guys, I'm going to run a demo here and I'll tell you all this pros and cons and all this. I haven't found much cons on none of this. Alright, as you see, right here, if I can clear the damn emails out, that's what I hate about videoing. Now as you see, this one here, here's a noticeable size difference. Right there, as you can see, yeah. This one here has the green light sticking out a little ways, and the adjustment port where you're going to adjust the voltage up or down. That would be your 3. Hey baby boo. This would here be your black wire. I don't know why it's marked out, but that would be your hot, that would be your black. White would be your neutral. Then you got your ground, and you got your 2 DC ports, your negative and minuses. I was bundling all the wires together to get them in here. Now I ran everything on this cart, but my cigarette lighter I got lucky once. And I'll show you my cat hair banded. Caramel's out. Yeah, Caramel might be out. Here's Banded. Say hello, Banded. Daddy's trying to do his review here, Bubby. This one here, I had to scrunch all the wires together. I had to put all my DCs in one thing, so that was kind of a negative there a little bit. Not much, but this is a good box. The only thing I had wrong with it one day is I was back there doing work, my power port kept going on and off, on and off, on and off. I thought maybe it might have been a short one of these wires. I knew I couldn't have been possible because I put all new wiring in. So I did some testing without the wire there. Hey, Bandit, Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you, baby. She loves you too. This one here I had to take apart. As you can see, I had to cut the sticker here. It was already out of warranty. And then there's a screw here. So you got to wait till it's out of warranty. And I poked through that damn sticker to get the casing apart. But all I had to do was basically these 2 screws here. There's solder joints at the bottom. I just had to reflow the solder, which was no big deal, but I went ahead and reflowed every solder joint in this. Never had a problem. Yes, I would highly recommend these. But remember, the higher the voltage, the higher amperage you can get them clear up to 24 volts. You can get them as low as, I think, 5 volts I've seen on eBay, up to 12 to 24. But right there, as you see. Alright, now let's go to the big boy here, as you can see. Yes, this is all wired correctly. I'll show you the wiring in the back, what I use to wire it with, and rerun everything, because my first video I did kind of turn a little woppy-jawed because I was using a laptop. But see the difference. the light, the LEDs in back further, and so the adjusting port. Now what's nice about this, there's 3 plus voltage ports for the DC, 3 negative ports. So I was able to separate my wiring. Of course, you got your ground. You're probably figuring, why in the hell is he using a black wire for ground? Well, I didn't have a green one to match that one, so that's all I had was mostly white and black. Not unless I use speaker wire, and you don't want to use speaker wire for AC, so I went ahead and used black to put a piece of green heat shrink over it to tell which ones, so I don't get it mixed up with the hot wire. Then you got your neutrals here, and then again you got your black hots here. Okay, these last 2 legs here are blank because I ain't got nothing hooked to them. I made some update changes. The last time you looked, I had deck screws in this. I thought I had, not deck screws, I had drywall screws. I thought they were deck screws, and I switched them out so to make it draw tighter because it was a little shaky there. Like last time, you remember the outlet here I took off of a old AC/DC power inverter. As you see, it works, no problem. I won't lie to you folks. This here I bought on eBay, a power port. You can get it for 15 to 20 bucks. I think you can get them with or without the cigarette lighter thing here. So I got mine with a cigarette lighter because I smoke, you may not. And it has a regular cigarette lighter plug there, just a jack. That's why they got the red ring around here to let you know that's where the cigarette lighter goes. Voltmeter. And over here, you got your top USB ports, 5 volt, 1 amp. Bottom, 5 volt, 2.1 amp. Alright. Now I'm going to flip this toggle switch on. It's still the same toggle switch. I made this out of a piece of metal I had out of an old toolbox lid. Put my toggle there. So you see right there. Okay. The voltage is pretty accurate with the voltmeter. Maybe 1 point different the back number, not much. Now don't worry about the 4th number in the voltmeter. Only worry about the first 2, the dot, and the last one. Not the 4th one. That don't mean shit in most cases. And remember I did, let me get a light on the subject here. Alright. Remember I did a stereo review. Well, when I first hooked that up to my power supply, I had a 3-way extension cord. I just cut the damn plug off and had my DC adapter there. Well, that ain't the case. I went ahead and found a DC plug, the plug, and I just cut the box off because I didn't need it. I found it up in my closet. I didn't splice my old new one together. Lacey bought me. No, I just found an old one. Took the damn box off of it, made it into a plug, ran it up here to another toggle switch, and run a set of wires from the toggle switch over, which would be these 2 thinner ones, because that's all the gauge you need for that stereo right there. Rest of the other shit, I made 16 because of the cigarette lighter. But as you can tell, watch. Comes on. You see right there.
Bluetooth mode.
You can hear it, Bluetooth mode. See right there. I'll show you the wiring and everything, and I'll go over the specs with you. Now if you see this kick off, that's because it's drawing a load for this, but for a cigarette lighter plug, cigarette lighter like that, you need at least 15 amps and higher. I told you I was going to do a 15 amp, 12 volt supply, but I decided to spend 15 for one of these. I decided to spend about 19 to some cents, so about 20. So the higher voltage you go, the higher amperage, the more money. And some of them's even got damn power fans on top of them. But to let you know here, hang on, let me get this. You hold this in and you'll see the voltage change too. I'm trying to get this cherry hot, because sometimes it will, but this is a new lighter I'm just breaking in. I never really used it only one time. Right there, as you can see. So, that works. That's the same way with old cars. Sometimes you're driving around the road, push it in, it'll pop out and like that. So best way to do is hold it in for like 10 seconds or so. And it will do it light. But that's the wiring. We'll light me a cigarette here real quick to show you it works. But that's a good box right there. Yes, I would recommend it. See right there. What you'll get with this thing, there's 2 tabs on each set of outlets, hot and negative. What you'll get is ends like this for each one of the tabs, but I'd buy some extras just to keep around, never know, because I got a bunch of these in a car, different gauge wires. Then you have to buy a set of these too. I bought a bunch of different bags with different sets for different sets of wires. It's good. You just put your regular line through there, and you just put your other line in there, pinch this tab all the way to the bottom, and then close the door. That's how I displaced them. I had to make pigtails for each one of the ports, and on the last wire I had to run would be this black, red and black wire right there. That runs the whole thing. Let me put that out for a second. I'll smoke later. Just want to kind of show you I wasn't faking or nothing. Now if you hook this other box up, try a cigarette lighter, the lights will go out. Every now and then it will with this, but that's a lot of amperage just for one of them damn lighters, believe it or not. And I did update this. I got rid of the extension cord. And this piece here I found in the trash here with the red buttons on it. I was cutting on that one day with an angle grinder. Now I'm going to let you know the wire and the switches are working good in this. I wired it with the outlet. The only thing is, this switch don't turn on off the outlets. It's always on. I just did that for a little extra decoration, you know. That and make it look better at night with these, you know. That's the only reason why I installed it. See right there, I can show you. Off, on, off, on. And they both work. Right there. I didn't use that angle grinder to cut these. I had my Dremel. But now you see that working. Now I'll take you behind the cart here and I'll let you see all the wiring. Hopefully this light don't hurt. Carmel's kicking his feet up. Oh, wow. I'll be out in a little bit, honey. Let me finish my review. Right there is all the wiring. So you can see those splice connectors I was talking about. Those crimp pins. I wrapped a lot of those in electrical tape. But rest of the wiring I did mostly in heat shrink. You'll see double heat shrink there like blue and yellow. That's because I did the power wires in double heat shrink. And I heat shrunk. I didn't heat shrink none back here. I did here especially because that's high. That's 110. But as you'd notice, right there's all the wiring. Alright, so you got a visual inspection of that. I tried to do that the last time, but the brighter light I used kicked the damn phone off, said it was overheating. So I did a review on these, good radio. I'm buying my wife one, by the way. Check it on my last blog. The differences is between these. And I did it with a voltmeter, an accurate one right here, Mastech. I forgot to take it in the front room when I was doing a field test. Now, you're going to forgive me, my spelling ain't good, my handwriting ain't all that good, but I'll explain it to you step by step. I did a power supply side-by-side comparison. Alright, this one here, the smaller one, will not work with a cigarette lighter. I only got lucky once. Alright. Now, that little one will run everything on here, so if you just want to buy a little one, 5 ampere right there, 12 volt, go for it. Have no problems with that. The different size, less ports. This one here is a 3" by 3.5" is the size. The next one over here is 4 3/8. Well, it's actually 7 1/8 by 4 3/8. This is a 12 volt, 20 amp. And I just put smoker to let you know that will work with a cigarette lighter. Non-smoker, you won't be able to use that lighter with it. But if you ain't a smoker, you can buy those with or without the cigarette lighter attachment. They will come with 2 cigarette lighter ports, but you just won't get this with it. That one there tells you, because there's a red ring right there, what side it goes on, so they don't put them in the wrong damn port. This one here I did for me. I know I spelled choice wrong. This one here would be for me, best choice. Because the extra ports and stuff. I want from 5 amp to a 20 amp. That's 15 points higher over here than here. This would be a 15 amps lower. Now, as you see, when I run these down, when I did the amp draw test, all that good junk, you'll notice it. Darn emails, get off of my channel. I'm running a review here, not an email list. AC voltage on this one was 120. To 119. So that's only 1 point difference, which ain't bad. The DC high, what I mean by DC high or DC low, because I told you those little adjustment knobs can be lowered or higher. I did them on both. The high side was 12.6, 11.4, which was only 2 points. DC amps, okay. The amp draw on that, or let me see. DC low is 10.9 to 9.6, which is 1.3 points, which is not bad at all. I did a DC draw test, an amp draw test. You got a 0.79 versus 0.85. This ranked a little bit higher on the DC side. That ranked, you might as well say, 6 points. When you see cigarette lighter yes and cigarette lighter yes, I was running a field test with the low side and high side. I thought it was going to say no on the low side when I cranked the juice down. It wouldn't run a cigarette lighter, but it made a liar out of me. It still ran it. So both of these here will run your cigarette lighter, but I keep your power up on those. But yeah, as you can see, I did a lot of comparisons here with everything as you see. And that's what I put don't work and work. I put here cigarette lighter works for this one, don't work for this one. I only got lucky, like I said, one time. I don't know how the hell I did that. Must have been a miracle. But them are the sizes. So I didn't have to drag a damn tape measure out in front of you. Just believe me on it. Right there. And as you can tell, I give you a little bit of a history lesson on the voltages and how to add everything up to figure out where you're located at. Right there, as you can see the difference. Right there. You pretty much need 2 of these to go damn near this way. Another half of 1 to 2. I mean, it's pretty much almost 2 of these put together. But would I recommend both of these? Yes. Price comparisons are lower. This was about, I think, $5 to maybe $10. This was about 20. But like I said, the higher the voltage you go, the more voltage you go, you're going to run with more amps and all this and that. And there are some out there with power fans in it and such. When you get into the semi voltage, about 12 or 24 volt, you're going to be rocking the money right there. Probably about 40 to 50 bucks at least, sometimes 30. And these cannot be bought in the stores anywhere locally, not much. You got to go like online stores to get them, like eBay, Amazon, stuff like that. Particular eBay would have these. You can find very few in China, or United States. Most of these, I hate to tell you, you're going to be waiting for a bit. Because they do, a lot of them come from China. Just let you know. But that's the comparisons right there. And you can see there's my updates that I did. Everything's powered and works. I'll give you that last look here. Right there's the radio it's on. You can see. Right there. It's my on and off button there. How I know it's on and off. Zero's off. One over here. There's this old LED that's on. Right here as you can tell. Everything's off. Another update I did too. I forgot to tell you. On my last blog, about 3 months ago when I did that little one, I had an old air conditioning cord with a plug I found in my toolbox to hook on the other end of it. We have a heater in the bathroom that don't work no longer. We got a different one, and I cut the 3-way plug off. And when that jackass that moved out over here through this way, it also had a 3-way plug on it. So I saved me $3 to $6 on eBay because they're actually computer cords basically. And actually I updated too. I did wire ties on my other one, stapled it down. As you can see, the little extra staple there. I used a cable clamp. Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, baby. I used a electrical clamp for like conduit wire to strap it down so the wires don't get yanked and all that. And I got right here in my power strip. So if anything happens, that has a built-in breaker. And what's nice about these, before I sign off, I don't care what the hell you do, you're not going to short these out. If you're starting to short something out, that green light will go off. It has overload protection, overheat protection, circuit protection, everything in these. Because I put my other one through the ropes and it's the same thing as this one. Hey Rick, y'all just showing out my power supply here. You're going to have to watch the video, come in a little late there. That's my new one. Compared to the 5 amp that I had, this is a 12 volt, same stuff. You'll have to watch the video here, buddy. I'll kind of glip down here on my hands and knees as soon as I find my flashlight, kind of show you the wiring again, so everybody can see. Right there's all the wiring I did. Now this ain't for an amateur. You got to know your electronics and your electrical before you attempt this job. You know, because you got to know your AC from your DC. I put, like I said, a couple of power ports there. That on and off switch I just put there just for a fancy thing. But the outlets are always powered. But that just wired directly to that, but it won't kick them on and off. But they're wired right, because I checked. Because right there's the meter. The thing they show wired correctly. My stereo, like I was telling you, everybody out there, doggone emails. They send you one, they send you 25. Instead of using my, like I said, Rick, instead of using my DC port to power my stereo and an extension cord, I just mounted me a toggle switch there, as you see. Right there. Kind of give me a heads up. I don't want to give you a rundown on everything again because he was on late. And your power ports here in the front will come with a bunch of these, but buy spares. They will not, however, come with these. You're going to have to buy those. I got a bunch in the car, you know, in my trunk. I just had a couple left over so I could kind of demonstrate and show you. The cigarette lighter will work. Let me get it hot here. I'll show you, Rick, because the last one, I only got lucky one fucking time after I ordered this bitch from China. It fucking worked. Let me show you here. And as you can see, the voltage will drop while you're doing it because that takes a lot of amp draw. Right there, as you can see, cherry red. And right there's my other port, cigarette port. There's my 5 amp or 5 volt 1 amp USB, 5 volt 2.1 USB. I updated the screws. I took my deck or drywalls out of here and put 3-inch screws in there from deck screws. Look how much tighter it is compared to what it was. But, and there's a rundown. Right there, you get 3 positive DC ports, 3 negative DC ports. I like that because you can separate the wires, where these sets right here I had to bundle together, and that other one. Yeah, I had to bundle a couple of these together because these couple right here, you see it's marked, you're probably going to yep because I didn't use a green wire for ground, but I didn't have none. You can't use speaker wire for AC shit, so I used a black. I just put green heat shrink over it so you can tell. So they don't cross because you have already two black. Right there's AC ports. That L means you're black. And of course you see it neutral, and that other symbol at your ground. It's all wired, didn't take very long. And I got it tied down with just a couple wood screws, as you can see right there, and there. One in the back there, you probably can't see very good if I can get my damn camera in here. Yeah, one right here in the very back, as you could tell. So you could tell this thing is not going to go nowhere. This one, that's why I had to bundle it. The only problem I had with this once was the DC side. Something was wrong with the solder joint, and they didn't have them float all the way, and I had to reflow them, take it apart, reflow them. But oh no, both these boxes are good. And you can tell, there's a new one I got today. There's one I had 3 months ago. And here's all the rundown on the voltages and everything I did from the amp draws. You may take notes, check everything thoroughly. They run pretty close to the same. Reason why I ranked this number 1 over this one, because I'm a smoker and I have a cigarette lighter. If I leave it in the front room, I don't want to have to walk clear back out there if I'm soldering, which is a safety factor for me, because our cat banned it. If I have a soldering iron plugged in, I have to walk back out to get a lighter. At least I'll be safer with that, because I can keep him on guard in case he knocks my soldering iron over. Fire hazard, burn hazard, what have you. So you gotta think safety there. But oh no, this little one will power everything on this cart, no problem. Just a cigarette lighter, it only did once. The 5-volt supplies I would use for these, or the 12-volt 5-amp I would use for these, which are the small ones. And that also runs my big home stereo that I built in the front room. For your shop, I definitely would recommend these. They cost about $20 versus about 5 or 10 for these damn little things. Either way, hope y'all liked the video and stuff. Why don't you just plug it into your butt to see if it works when you fart? Smart ass. I'll get you back there, Sponge Boob. He calls SpongeBob Sponge Boob sometimes, so you'll laugh at that one. He'll call it Sponge Boob instead of SpongeBob. But yeah, I wanted to do the comparisons. I'd use my trusty Mastec meter here to do some readings on both this and that, and they're relatively not much points, as you can tell, between the AC, DC high, DC low, the amp draw, and I'd turn the amps, like I said, down for that, and they both lit up the cigarette lighter. I was wondering about that. But my final thoughts on everything, do I have any cons? Not really, only this has less ports than that one. But all in all, they're both relatively good. Now, if you're a smoker, that's the only other con. This will not work. That would I could tell you what, every now and then it'll kill the power, but it'll reset itself, come back on, but that's normal. Because that does take a lot of amperage just for one cigarette lighter. It at least takes about 15 damn amps. But now if you think about it, this don't have an alternator on it to keep regulating the voltage and pumping the juice through. This is just standalone voltage. You plug in a wall, transfers it to DC. So now if you had an alternator in here rigged up, oh, you wouldn't have no problems pumping out the amperage. But this one here does work, and I'm happy and satisfied. So either way, I wouldn't recommend anybody wiring this stuff up like I do, not unless you're equivalent good with electronics, AC voltage, and DC voltage. If you're not good with it, have somebody like me to come in for a few bucks. I would only charge, if you had all this stuff set up, probably about 20, 25, maybe 30 bucks to do it, if you had everything there. You know, because I do have to charge for my time and gas to get to your place to do it. But that's what I want with them. Believe it or not, the reason why I want with these two I forgot to mention before I sign off, these are low voltage. They won't run your power bill up as bad as sometimes as one of these will. An air conditioner, a heater, like these DC stereos. These are nice. I've not had a problem with that yet. You know, and that's low power. It's only 12 volt. You can run them 12 to 24, I believe. So these are low voltage. So these are not. These has all the protection in it. You're not gonna overheat this. You're not gonna overload it. If something does happen, your green LED light will go off and come back on. They got surge protections in there. I tried everything in the name of the God, Green Earth, to short this one out. I could not do it. The light would just go off, would be it. Come back on, wouldn't even hurt it. So are these fire hazards? Absolutely not. Not unless you do all the wiring and shit wrong, and then it won't let it go through. You know, it won't let it go through. It'll just leave that light off. Everything be wired wrong. Anyhow, thanks for watching the video. I had to repeat myself once because Rich wasn't on here so I could see from the Rick Ghost Player Normal Police Investigators. But anyhow, Sponge Boob. Yeah, Sponge Boob. Thanks for joining me there, Sponge Booby. I'll catch you on the flip side there. Like, subscribe, no haters, no trolls. Or you could be blocked. But pick you up one of those, you will not be sorry. And I got two, actually I forgot to tell you, I got a positive port and a minus port left. But I will hold a hell of a lot of power. But talk to you later. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And check it out in part 1 from the updates I did in part 2. Bye.